All right, welcome back. Just finished the game, and this guy was trying to be greedy, and it cost him the game. When you start off a chess game, you have a queen. Okay. When you just try and get a queen, another queen, I think that's a slap in the face. Some of you might not agree. I don't really care because I'm just telling you. You have a dominant position. Go for the checkmate. Why are you trying to push a pawn that I've obviously blocked from moving to save my game, but you just want to keep pushing and keep pushing, and when you lose, that is a great win on two parts. One, you never got a queen, and two, you lost because you were trying to get a queen. That's why you lost. Your position was fine. You had a great position. I had to defend the pawn that was loose, that you got free, that was passed, well, trying to pass, and try to figure out a way to checkmate you. You suck. You lost. You had you placed this many problems on my plate, and I was able to solve those problems. So let's take a look. Let's do it from the analysis board. Now I can move both sides. Okay, so I played d4, d5, f4, bishop f4, e3. Now this I played bishop e2. And he's opening. I back the bishop up. He pins. Okay, now I know what's going on. This is a pretty good attack. Alright, so I face the bishops off. He decides to block. I'm like, okay, I'll just free my knight up. You can have that piece. And that's where I messed up. Okay, so blundered another piece. This is not my morning. Okay, so now I've got a vicious pawn sitting right here, and I can't trade it out. The bishop is protected. Knight protects the bishop. So I trade off knights. Okay, so he's down a knight. Then I get my king pinned in the middle of the board, but I place the bishop, which he never went after, on g8. And now I bring the knight up to b5, check, open him up a little bit, and run his bishop off. He takes my knight, but I gotta open up his king some kind of way. So b takes c6, then I castle. He takes, I pin the knight. He comes to check. I take the knight. Then I move the king over, and he's trying to get me in what I call a crossfire, where the bishop cuts this diagonal and the queen protects the file. So now I threaten his queen. He moves his queen, still protecting the pawn. And now I move the rook to g3, threatening to take the bishop, even though I'm not going to take the bishop. There is no way I'm going to take the bishop. He is more concerned with having his queen guard this pawn. Now, it would not have been a bad move for any beginner out there. It would not have been, I didn't mean to do that. It would not have been a bad move for me to take right here. To take on h3, because his queen would have had to take back, and then I would have been able to snatch the pawn. But here's the thing, people. I need that rook because this is a runner. People who play like this, they typically run the king all over the board. That's why the pawn structure is the way it is. That's why the rooks remain on the back row, because he wants to run. Okay, so he's going to use his queen to guard this pawn, and at this point I'm cool with that. All right, so now I see what he's doing, so I just need to move a pawn out my way. First, I need to get the rook centralized up here on the b file, and he, of course, see, he's going to protect the he's going to protect b7 like he should, to prevent the rook from coming down, placing him in check, and then taking the dark square bishop. So now I need to get the queen in play. So he comes down with the rook too soon. I thought it was too soon. And then I play the queen to a5. He pushes for the queen, but that's the last push he'll make. So queen a6 check. Queen takes a7 check. Then he plays king d6. I come with the queen just to get a response. I want to save the pawn move for the next series of checks. So queen c5 check. Then he comes back out, king c7. Then I play queen b6 check. He comes back now. I play the pawn move to force him further back on that back row. c5 check, and then see, I could have played c5 the first time. No, I don't want to do that. See, now I want him to have to think. Plus, I want the queen to be able to cut. I want the queen to be able to force him over, so that now I can play the pawn move here, and he has to stay on further on this file. Okay, that would not be the case if I would have played this move early, because he would have been able to remain on this side of the board, and I want him over because I have a rook that's cutting off this file, which is the G file. So he can't come down. So if I can get him trapped on that 7th rank, that would be the beauty. That would be where the checkmate could take place. So king d6. Now c5 check. He moves over. See, he doesn't want to come off of there. So I take the pawn, forcing him to come off. He can't. He has to go backwards. So he goes backwards. Then I play the move queen d6, forcing him over. Now I play the move rook to b8. He comes up king f7. Then he blocks with the rook, because that's all he has left. And now the game is over because queen takes rook, checkmate. All because he wanted to get a queen. Was it worth it? No, it was not. It was not worth it. Sure, I see the logic. I see what he wanted to do, but you had a queen already. You were in a great position to start a mating sequence, but you chose not to do that. So, the trick's on you. Trick chess. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. Save the tricks for kids. Anyway, I like today. This was a great victory for me. I didn't play very well. I didn't. I know I didn't. I'm sure if I check the analysis, which I am now, it's going to tell me I probably made a bunch of blunders. And typically this board over here, it shows you the best move, inaccuracies and things of that nature, where you could have played better move. If it stays like this, that means that was the strongest move on the board. But when it starts looking like that, then that's where your blunders were made. Or, yeah, and inaccuracies and better moves, and you see it's going, well, let me see. It's still, well, no. If I was, okay, I wasn't under, I'm getting there. Let's see. So far I'm under 6. I'm down to 64. Center pawn loss. 59. 52. Oh, but we're just in the middle game. Typically, I play the middle game pretty strong. It's the end game typically that I mess up at. But let me just see. This is actually the computer. Oh, I'm interested in this now. I am. This may have been my best game yet. Let's see. Oh yeah, no. I don't think it's gonna be. Let's see. Oh yeah, no. I've got way too much left in the analysis for me to think that it's gonna be a good game though. It's gonna be a good game. But for some reason, it's taking Stockfish forever to calculate the game all the way to the open. But I didn't blunder. He did. Let's see. Remember, I told you want to keep it under 50, and that would be a good game. At one point, I was down to like 32 and 28. And now I just got over 50, and it's all in the opening. It was in the opening. And then here we go. Here we go. Because I knew the opening I was just blundered. I knew I did. I did not. I knew I blundered a piece in the opening. I knew that. I would question the accuracy of this if not. Okay, so I ended up with 64 center pawn loss. I made 3 mistakes, 4 inaccuracies, and 1 blunder. But for the most part, I played a pretty decent game. I blundered way. I was inaccurate and blundered in the opening, just as I thought. But I played a pretty solid game. So for the most part, I guess you could look at it 40. If you want to look at it mathematically, I guess 46% of the time I was making the strongest move on the board. 46% of the time. But anyway, beginners, you have a queen. Use your queen. Okay, use your queen, the queen that you came with, because this, trying to defend a position until you can get a queen and you already have a queen, that's just, to me, that's a slap in the face. It's just poor chess playing, and it speaks to your not having a certain level of skill. Because if you need 2 and 3 queens to checkmate someone, then you really just can't play, and that's the long and short of it. All right, this is Chess Addict. I'm out of here, back to playing chess. I will see you at the next video. Hit subscribe. Peace.